pewter is a very soft, reflective, but soft. But when you start looking, you will find that even the pewter gets some bounced color from some of the things around it. And in fact, this is about things and looking closely. And as you do these brushes, when you're just concentrating on them, or as you do any of the metal things, you should, it's an exercise, I mean, it's literally like a physical exercise in seeing. Colors in the metal, suddenly, depending on what's around you, maybe I can put this here. Well, that's a little obvious, but that would give you another.
Oh, and there's refraction.
And then there's refraction. I mean, I did paintings that were refraction and reflection for years. The only words I used were. Connie's so forgiving. That's.
Well, be better whatever you feel like.
Right, it's true. Okay.
Do you feel like copying?
Sure. I find copying sort of contemplative too. I mean, I don't like to think I'm always copying, but there is something that's. I'm interested that I've had immediately changing the scale of this a little bit, not a lot, and that is a factor if you in working with man-made and sort of I was going to say hokey, but I don't mean hokey, but reflective things. It's an important element when you're working very close, realistically. Wetting it. And
it doesn't absorb much, right?
No, it does a little. It's probably not perfect for what I'm doing, but I'm going to try. And I'm going to overstate. I'm overstating the because I'm going to use some removal. So if you don't, my mantra with removal is, if you don't put it on there, you can't take it off with any. There's in other words, you've got to overstate to and it's a little bit of a dance of on, off, dampen, dry, remove.
There's the two-brush system.
You can immediately call it a two-brush system as soon as if you simply had two brushes.
Right.
But I can't because one of.
They call it a two-brush system. Well, you could, because you're painting two brushes.
Judy. That is good, Judy. Judy gets definitely an A. So then it's watching.
But
I have to let it dry a little now.
That's as long as it will be.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, it's just a demonstration. When it's just a demonstration, I've got to. Okay, this stops at the ferrule. That's a great word. And I'm going to. Now I have to watch two things at once. This and this, because I have to come in at the right moment. Well, let me see how to say this. I mean, the timing is one thing. Oh, what else? I'll come back.
Deborah, when you said overstate earlier,
Mm-hmm.
did you mean overstating on glass or lucite, or did you, in metal, or with color? What did you mean?
With color. I'm putting more color because I'm taking out. So that's basically the overstatement.
Put burnt umber? I don't have a
A
color.
little.
It's that time of year.
Yeah, this is, anything that doesn't happen right is going to be the paper,
Smell.
not me.
That's good, I'm always going against the grain.
Some people do. I just wanted to make sure.
Because of the nature of this paper, this is turning out rougher than my,
Then you would like.
well, for my purpose. But that,
Is Bristol super smooth or something?
oh yeah, very super smooth, and it's also not really a watercolor paper. So I'm putting down a little bit of a neutral. Obviously, this is a very rough, not very rough, it's not rough, but it's a cold press, and it's kind of a rough cold press. Every paper is so different because it's, a cold press Arches has a lot of tooth and a certain amount of sizing. A cold press Fabriano has a different kind of sizing and almost a more mechanical woven quality. And so one, it lifts more. They lift in different ways, but also as they follow the texture of the paper, you get a very different.
This is in Arches, did you say?
This is Arches.
Debbie, as that's dried though, that really looks,
Yeah, it looks great.
it does.
Well, and also, actually,
They have given up on
there's
it
no
too soon.
accidents in life. And the good thing about this is, it's not the way I would have painted pretty good,
Right.
but it's a way of painting too, and it is more immediate because that paper wants it to be. So it was saying, be a little more immediate. I also have not done some of the more pronounced darks on that. It's really the brush to have. And I am prejudiced in favor of this, which is Winsor & Newton with a lucite handle, just because I like the feel and the bounce of it. However, there are people, there are many other people make, other manufacturers make different things. Some of them are so much more bouncy or flexible, so it's more like this kind of a brush. That the feel of this, it's just got a lot more. It's more brushy. This is more mechanical, more like a drawing instrument.
What's it called?
It's called Winsor & Newton 1/2 inch. Then I sort of going to take a little off like that. The most important things in removal are pressure and water. Pressure, water, amount of dampness when you go back to take stuff out, and timing. Because you could come back here now, or you can wait 5 minutes and get a different feeling. All right, so that's about. You can come back to soften, and then you don't like it, or you want to get hard edged again, clean it up. I came back here, now I'm going to clean it up again. So that's it's picky. It's picky, and it doesn't have to be this picky as I'm doing it because I'm trying to talk at the same time. And the same thing would pertain for handles. Oh, I didn't put in the brush itself. So, and that's sort of fun. Look at. And then wonder what that is. Then it's very wet, so I have to leave it for a second just to get, but then I would take out, sort of not everywhere, but different parts. Because every stroke that you make is going to tell something about the shape of that particular metal thing. Just the way if you were doing a pot that's sitting over there. Pewter is a very soft, reflective, but soft. But when you start looking, you will find that even the pewter gets some bounced color from some of the things around it. And in fact, this is about things and looking closely. And as you do these brushes, when you're just concentrating on them, or as you do any of the metal things, you should. It's an exercise. I mean, it's literally like a physical exercise in seeing colors in the metal. Suddenly, depending on what's around you. Maybe I can put this here. Well, that's a little obvious, but that would give you another.
Oh, and there's refraction.
And then there's refraction. I mean, I did paintings that were refraction and reflection for years. The only words I used were.
After you said that.
Connie's so forgiving. That's
Well, you better whatever you feel like.
right. It's true. Okay.
Do you feel like copying?
Sure. I find copying sort of contemplative too. I mean, I don't like to think I'm always copying, but there is something that's. I'm interested